Captain Insano shows no mercy.
Straight cash, homie.
Hold on to your butts.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Basement Monsters podcast on SportsZone Chicago. I'm Ivan Vargas. As always, I got my boy Luke Nettles to me and newcomer, special guest to the program and Titans fan and buddy of mine since high school, Marco Velasquez. Marco, what's up, man? Welcome to the podcast.
All right, thanks for having me, guys.
Hell yeah, man! Bears, Titans. Your boys are up. Your boys are up next for us Bears. And you know what? To be honest, I'm nervous about this game. Just because, the 2-game losing streak for the Titans, the 2-game losing streak for the Bears, I feel like this game it's a pivotal moment for both teams to turn things around this season. Because you lose 3 games in a row, now you're questioning things. Now you're like, whoa, where are we going? Should we start to look forward to the future, to next year? How do we fix this? And those questions being raised will be, I think, it'd be a detrimental to each locker room because all of a sudden you have questions being raised. You know what I'm saying? You have questions.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's one of those games where it definitely a lot of things come into question, especially with the schedules coming up for both teams. It's going to be, a tough road for both of these teams to, progress as far as where they want to go in this season. Titans are definitely showing up with desperation today. I can't speak of that, all right. I can't, make that any more lightly than possible. We need to win this game.
Right.
You got the Colts coming up divisional game. Then you go against the Ravens, which is a rematch, the divisional round last year. It's going to be a tough matchup for Tennessee, a tough road from here on out. So, I mean, a good turning point, to progress forward.
Right. And Luke, we were talking, all of us were talking before the show. It's Derrick Henry. It's Derrick Henry. Like, let's just kill the elephant.
Get out of the way.
It's Derrick Henry. That's the guy. That's who you need to stop if you're the Bears. That's who you need to get going if you're the Tennessee Titans. He was kind of bottled up the past couple of weeks, but I feel Derrick Henry, he's going to come alive today. You're at home. You've lost 2 in a row. You need a spark. I believe Derrick Henry's going to try to have himself a hell of a day.
Well, yeah, that and you're playing the Bears defense. Like, who's not going to tell me as an offensive player who doesn't want to be the one to say, hey, look what I did to these fools.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these dudes ain't nothing. Like, look what I did. Like, this game will get you up.
Yeah.
My thing with this game is we'll get to the pick aspect of it, and I'm gonna lay one on you. But Derrick Henry is going to be the key to this game. Beat him, pound him. I don't care if Derrick Henry's only getting 2 and 3 yards at a time in the first half. That's perfect. Let him, but do it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Do it a lot.
Yeah.
Do it a lot because A, you negate Khalil Mack's pass rush. B, you wear out the defense, and then C, in the second half, you come out and maybe even stray away from Derrick Henry a little bit and start throwing it when the Bears, and you confuse the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like wait a second, wait, we thought we were going to get Derrick Henry, but you know what I mean. I think Tennessee's in a perfect spot, and I mean both of them, like you said, you guys both said, huge game right now because they both need to flip a switch. They both need to flip a switch because both schedules are tough throughout to the end of the season. And it's just gonna bode well for both teams to get this W.
And you know what? It's funny because that's exactly what the Rams did to us.
Mm-hmm.
The Saints didn't have that kind of success on the ground, as much success on the ground. They had it in the passing game using Kamara, left and right. But what the Rams did, it was interesting because they got them left and right in a play action boot. With the quarterback, they were rolling the quarterback left to right, getting that defense left to right, up and down. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden they started hitting them up the gut with the run. And that wore them down. That really wore them down because you saw them coming out after giving up I believe it was the intercept. No, excuse me. Right out of the gate in the second half, they went ahead and gave up a touchdown. That team was worn out. Start off the second half. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You can't have that. You got to find some way somehow to stop Derrick Henry, clog up the holes, and just make Ryan Tannehill beat you. Make Ryan Tannehill beat you. And for the Titans, Marco, I just feel like it's keep doing that. Run with Henry and play action with Ryan Tannehill. He's been doing great this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And already, into the season, Derrick Henry, every time he puts up 100 more yards, it puts Titans in a very good position to win football games. You take Derrick Henry, out, you figure him out, you're able, to lower his yardage. Ryan Tannehill is going to have to beat him in the passing game.
Yeah.
And they want to challenge that.
Yeah, and Ryan Tannehill's he's been playing great. Like he hasn't first of all, he hasn't been sacked.
Yeah.
He hasn't been sacked that many. He has 8 sacks throughout the season. He hasn't been sacked that many times. So that's going to play a part in how the Bears get the pass, get to him, because I think if you put him on the ground a couple of times, you get him. I mean, he's a mobile quarterback.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you get him going left and right, I mean, you could cause havoc, like wreaking havoc, causing mistakes. Maybe you run into one of those. You got playmakers on the back end of that defense that could do that. But if it's Tennessee, I said the same thing in the Barely pregame show with the Bears challenging Tennessee's secondary. I think Tennessee should challenge the Bears secondary as well. Yeah. You can't stay straight shy, and I think it'll come in the form of the play action as long as you're able to get Henry going.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm telling you, man, it's going to be a heavyweight fight, like straight up. It is. In order for the Bears to hang around for the later rounds of this fight, that offense has to generate something. Mm-hmm. It has to do something. Like, I don't care if it's, Montgomery catching passes out of the backfield. Obviously, your boy Cole Kmet's not playing. Maybe Jimmy Graham needs to step up a little bit. Mooney all day long. And then Tennessee, vice versa. I'll tell you what, my boy, you know who I'm about to say. I'm telling you, today is the day to have Ferkser on your fantasy draft. It's Ferkser all day.
And that's because Humphreys is out.
Exactly.
That's because Humphreys is out.
Absolutely.
So you got to look for Ferkser. I hate
John who's he's not 100%. So, what better way to come out and surprise the Bears defense than, you're not going to surprise them with Derrick Henry. Everybody knows Derrick Henry. Yeah. But it's who's going to be the other guy? Who's going to be is Tannehill going to have the time to throw these deep routes? No. He's going to have to get it out quick. So it's going to be the Jonnu Ferkser show.
I see that. I would do the same thing. Hit him, beat him, use a short game to open up the deep game. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
And the
run. And continue to whittle down that middle of that Bears defense. Because, we talk about Khalil, but Akeem could blow up that middle as well. Right. I know we don't have Eddie Goldman. They've been struggling to really – they've been doing better with this committee, this rotation, this committee nose tackle.
Right.
But, if you could shut down a Khalil Mack and an Akeem Hicks, or not even shut down Akeem Hicks, just keep running at him, keep him moving, keep him worn down, you're going to need him subbed out, and you're going to find a big play sooner or later in the running game with Derrick Henry. I just feel like, the Bears have made some adjustments. I don't know if this defense, I won't say that. I know they're resilient. I know they want to win. I just don't know how much longer they could give everything without getting help from the other side.
No, the offense has to help them out. They have to be able to get these 6 and 7 minute drives. They have to be able to wear this Tennessee defense down. Because their mind is Jadeveon Clowney. I think if Jadeveon Clowney's in the game today, it's an easy win for the Titans. Just with the Chicago Bears line being so
right.
Hobnob, like, okay, this guy, okay, let's try that guy. But now that he's not in, they still have good linebackers. They're still going to come after Foles. Like, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like they would put a little more pressure on him if Jadeveon was there. That Tennessee defense is going to have to tighten up too, because the Bears. This is the weirdest thing about the Bears. Like, yeah, everybody knows Allen Robinson. He's going to get his dishes of balls. But it's where are the balls going to go after that? Mm-hmm. Is it going to be Mooney? Is it going to be Miller? Do the Chicago Bears finally pull the string on the light bulb and turn it on and put Cordero Patterson out as a receiver and shoot him down the field? Like, I feel like the Bears have so many options. I just don't feel like they explore all of them all the time.
And Cordero's not that great of a receiver. He doesn't exactly. But my point is, he doesn't need to be a great receiver. He needs to stretch that field. He needs to occupy that safety.
Exactly.
That's what he needs to do. Exactly. And you need a guy like that in the slot. I just don't think Anthony Miller's that guy. I think you need somebody with a little more speed. Anthony Miller could be a great short game possession receiver.
He had a great game last week.
He had a great game last week. I just don't think that he's that guy that can stretch the field. Cordero, if you get him running full speed 100%, the guy can stretch the field. He may not come up with the ball.
Right.
But he'll get that safety. He'll run that safety off, and that's what you want. That's what you want, because you end up with a big play underneath.
Yep.
Or you hit over the top.
Yep.
But for me, let's wrap. We're gonna go ahead and talk about a couple other games. So let's wrap this one up. I'm gonna go with with our picks. For me, I do still have the Bears winning. I believe it was 23-13 that I had in the pregame show. I feel like this defense should come out angry because they had a chance to shut it down last week and they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like the defense, the pressure on Tannehill, I think that's going to be the factor in the game. I think that's going to change. I think you're going to get a strip sack fumble, at least one, and I think you're going to get at least 1 or 2 times where you have an opportunity to intercept the ball.
So what are you going to call the score?
23-13.
I'm gonna say Tennessee 24, Bears 17.
I'm going to go 28-16 Tennessee, and that's just going to be simply based on the Henry factor, and I think Tennessee's tight ends, both of them, if not one of them, if not both. But I feel like with that kind of pass rush, you got to get it out quick, 5-yard, 10-yard routes, things of that nature. I look for Ferkser to have a good game today. And
you know what, Marco? Talking about Tennessee. It's paramount that they win because you got the Colts that just keep winning. They keep going. They keep moving forward. They keep winning. They've had a hiccup here or there, but they've overcome it. And they're a Super Bowl contender. We've seen them. The Bears have seen them. That defense is legit. They're fast, and they're a Super Bowl contender. They have a quarterback that knows what the hell he's doing. Mm-hmm. Tennessee needs this game. It could be a Colts runaway if Tennessee finds themselves 3 games out, in a 3-game losing streak. And looking uphill at the Colts, it could cause problems for the Titans.
Yeah, absolutely. And going into this game, very exciting to see a whole new secondary for Tennessee, like a whole new. Picking up Desmond King at the trade deadline, this being his first game, trying to make a statement. Let's see if the Bears try to challenge that secondary today, and if we can somehow figure it out. I see a Titans victory coming from them with the Henry factor as well.
Yeah, right. He's too much.
Yeah, trust me. I'm on board with you guys as well. You know what I mean?
Nobody can deny.
Yeah, nobody can deny. All right, let's talk about some games from around the league before we get to some of the other games. Actually, no, let's start with the other games. We'll start with the second game of our 3-game set. It's going to be the Cardinals versus the Dolphins. Now, the Cardinals are looking to fight. I think they are second in the NFC West. Mm-hmm. They need to gain ground. They need to keep gaining ground because the Seahawks are the Seahawks. They have 2 people that are pretty much carrying that team right now, in Russell Wilson and DK Metcalf.
Jesus.
And I know, and it doesn't seem like they're going to slow down anytime soon. So for the Cardinals, it's a must win for Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray needs to continue to show that, hey man, this guy belongs, and he has so far this season. He's shown. Mm-hmm. The Dolphins are better. I just don't know who the Dolphins are. You know what I mean? I don't think they know who they are. They have Tua. It's Tua time in Miami. I know they're looking. It's the future is now. Find some identity now. I think their defense is playing great. I think their offense finds, does its job when it needs to. I just need to see who the Dolphins are, and I think you're going to see that in this game because both teams are very good.
I'll let you go.
Absolutely. Just adding more to Dolphins' identity, we don't know exactly what's going on because, what a blowout win with the Rams. Just completely dominated them. But up until then, it was the Fitzmagic show. He was doing a great job in Miami. So you take him out, a winning quarterback that was getting you wins on the board. You put in Tua, who a lot of people say, hey, you might want to sit this one out, learn the game a little better. But, hey, he put up a blowout victory. So, are we going to see that a consistent Dolphins team, possibly winning the division? It's interesting to see who Miami is at this moment right now. They're winning, but can that be exposed? Can defense figure that out?
Right, and like I said, Tua time. But the Miami Dolphins they're right there. It looks like the Patriots are fading, so it looks like a 2-horse race in the AFC East.
Yeah, we'll see today.
Can the Dolphins? If the Dolphins win this game, I say they're right there with the Buffalo Bills. I say they're pretty much neck and neck because we've seen the Bills play bad. We've seen the Dolphins stay here consistent. They're consistent. They have the weapons to beat you. I just don't know who they are. Like I said,
they're that scrappy little team, and props to Fitzmagic. The guy, just think about that guy. Look at how many teams he's been on. He did great for the Bucs. He did. Now he's in Miami doing some of the stuff. He's done it for just a number of teams, and it's the guy. the guy is good. I mean, obviously he's not your starter. Like you want to have a little more consistency with him, but like the guy's going to keep you at a 500 level.
It was disrespectful though. I feel like
it is. But here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. How many times do we see this with teams where you get a brand new shiny toy and you're just chomping at the bit to put that shiny toy out there?
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
it was a political. It was a fucking political move. Right, it really was, and it's bullshit because you got a guy they were winning.
Yeah,
they were winning. You know what I'm saying? What happens in these down the stretch when you find yourself in a tough ass game? I mean, Tua could be the guy. He could very well be the guy. But you'll always be thinking, what if?
Right.
If Tua lays an egg.
But yeah, but I mean that puts. I mean, to me, like I'm not tripping over it because like that leaves you in a good position. Like if I had a backup quarterback, like let's just look around the league. Like how many backup quarterbacks do you feel comfortable with? I mean, like we know Ben, if he goes down the Mason Rudolph project, we already saw that. Yeah. That's 6 games in the.
I think you go Dobbs. I think you go Dobbs if
well, but I'm saying like name another team that has a quarterback that would be on like Fitzmagic's caliber. Like there's not many out there. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna see
Jacoby Brissett.
Oh yeah, we saw him do.
But
okay, that's fine. But I mean, Jacoby, he only gets by because he has good defense.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's the only reason he'll get by. But I mean, other than that, like I feel like I'm a huge proponent of this. Like, Chargers is going to be my example. You had a wacky doctor thing with that puncturing someone's lung.
Tyrod.
Weird.
Jeez, Tyrod would be a guy.
Well, as long as they're not puncturing his lung, but
right.
But I mean, like Herbert, boom, comes in, lights it up. Like to me, like it's getting to that point now where these guys in college are running these pro style offenses. So these quarterbacks that are coming out now are much more acclimated to that pro style of offense. Mm-hmm. The magic thing, I mean, that's a coach's decision, whatever. But, I mean, Tua's been doing well. So, I mean, let him go. Because, I'm a huge proponent of, like, hey, I got it. Let's see what it does.
Right.
Let's see. Like, there's, like, Burrow's come in, lit it up. Herbert's come in, lit it up. Like, you're having these quarterbacks come in now that are much more game ready. And I feel like that's been a detractor for a lot of quarterbacks in the past. Is that everyone's like, oh yeah, let's sit them, let's let them learn the offense, let's let them learn. Well, that's great. They sit there and they learn. They're in a classroom. Okay, what do you do? But then I feel like sometimes they set them, they wait too long.
Yeah.
And then it fills their head with too much, and then the pressure becomes even more.
Right.
Because now it's like, oh well, they're going to say, oh, I've been in the classroom for 2 years. Now I need to come out and just light it up.
Yeah.
And I feel like the pressure is released off of a rookie guy when he gets there and he only sits out so many games, and then you put him in because the kid's used to playing.
Yeah, you got to throw him out there. Yeah, I get it. You got to throw him out there. Trial by fire.
Exactly.
If you're a baller, you're gonna go
find out what you got.
Yeah. If you're a baller, you're gonna go out there and ball. I agree with that. It hurts me just because it's like, man, Ryan, you had him winning. But
But this is Ryan's career. Like he's so used to it. Like it's just like, okay, cool.
No, this time he said it. He said this one hurt.
Yeah.
He said this one hurt because like he won the job. Like he felt like it was his team, and then all of a sudden the rug was swept out from under him.
Well, perfect example. What's Foles' record?
No, it's probably the same as Fitzmagic.
Well, guess what? Mitch Trubisky was 3-0.
He's 2-0.
Well, whatever.
He was 2-0. He was 2-0 going on 2-1 when Foles
But I'm
came.
just saying.
I get it. All right, you know what? Let's wrap up the Dolphins cards. Let's wrap up the Dolphins cards. I got the Cardinals winning this game 28-17.
I'm gonna go Dolphins.
Really?
Dolphins 21. Arizona, I'm gonna go 14.
I'm gonna go just because Gaskin is not playing for the Dolphins. I'm gonna go 28-14 Cardinals.
28-14 Cards, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, I like it.
I feel like Kyler's gonna cut loose, and I don't mean throwing the ball.
Yeah. All right, that sounds good to me. All right, next one. We got Steelers and Cowboys. Steelers are gonna win. Steelers are gonna win.
I'm not buying it. Yeah. Don't fall asleep because I feel like this is the Vegas has it in.
Oh, okay.
And this is going to be the upset of the season. Ezekiel Elliott goes off for like 160 yards against a fast Steelers defense.
Get out.
And they win. They win 17-14.
Oh my God!
The fix is in.
Part of me feels like
this is the time of year when the fix is in.
Part of me feels like you're gonna go ahead and wish them. You're gonna speak this shit into existence. It's gonna piss me off.
No, this is exactly what Vegas wants. Like, what better game to take more money from people?
I can see that too.
An undefeated Steelers team, like everybody's gonna bet heavy on the Steelers, and guess what?
We'll know if a couple plays are blown and shit. They're like, oh wow, a non-pass interference call.
Turf monster got him.
Yeah, the turf monster got him.
Just when they fall down 10 yards short.
Jesus Christ.
Zeke is questionable for the game, I believe.
Yeah, he is.
Well, Zeke's been questionable all season.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and move on from that. We're gonna not that one. That one would be our later game. We're gonna go ahead and move to Seahawks and Bills. Big one. Seahawks Bills. I don't think they're gonna blow them out.
I think they're gonna blow them out.
I don't think they're gonna blow them out. I think they're gonna win. I just don't think they're gonna blow them out. I think the Seahawks are gonna win by 7 points. I think it's going to be a 21-14 game, somewhere around there. I think. I feel like the Seahawks defense will find a way to just contain – because, they don't have a running game. So you just got to go – you got to pretty much defend that over the top. I think that they're going to focus on that over the top and let, the underneath try to beat them. I got the Seahawks winning. I just think it's going to be a closer one than we think.
I got Seahawks 30-27. I think honestly it's gonna be a show. You got Josh Allen, you got Russell Wilson. Mm-hmm. Josh Allen being the star that he is. I mean, just an absolute beast this season. I mean, the Bills have looked suspect here and there in their games, but
they get up.
Still a big QB in the league right now all around, and going up against arguably one of the faces of the NFL right now. And Russell Wilson, I think it's definitely a good showdown between the two.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna go. Seahawks 34, Bills 17. Like I don't think the Bills.
You're losing faith in the Bills, dude. What the hell?
I am. I'm waiting. I'm just over watching them. I'm just like, man, like what's going on over there? Like, did they benefit and profit over having a light schedule early, and now they're getting into the meat, and now you're starting to see their flaws. I don't think. Here's what it is with the Bills. They're going to try to do everything they can to stop Metcalf. I think Lockett's going to blow up, and then I think the tight ends are going to come into play in that game as well. I think it's going to be a slaughter by the Seahawks. Straight up. I mean, like, when you got Carroll got the new contract, they're feeling good.
At least if you throw a pick six, DK's going to go ahead and track that one down. He's going to go ahead and terminate it. You get the T1000. Oh man, but I got the Seahawks. It seems like we all got the Seahawks winning.
Yeah, for sure.
So moving on, Ravens and Colts. Huge game. I feel like it could be a NFC Championship game preview. Now you got the Colts with they're down a running back, but they have been down all season. Down a running back all season, pretty much. But they've been just winning. They just find a way to win. Mm-hmm. And that defense, like we talked about, we saw them against the Bears. They look great. They look fast. They look hungry. You got a Phillip Rivers who's just leading the team like Phillip Rivers does.
Yeah. He's thrown for – I mean, I think he's been in the league like 16, 17, 18 years, whatever. I think he's had one season since he's been in the league where he's thrown for under 4,000 yards. And think about some of those older Chargers teams where they didn't have Keenan Allens and they didn't have Mike Williams. They didn't have those things. And he was still throwing for 4,000 yards. I do see a little bit of Phillip Rivers to me has the weirdest throwing motion. Because sometimes it looks like he's throwing the ball, like it looks like he's just throwing the ball as hard as he can, and it doesn't go very far. But then you see him look like he's not throwing the ball, and then the ball just goes. You're just like, what is going on with this guy? But anyway, I'm going to get back to it. I'm going to say that, that Colts defense is legit. They're in the right spot at the right time. Like it's just the execution on that defense is great. But if Baltimore goes pass heavy, I look for Lamar to kind of get out and run a little bit. I think this is going to be the closest game of the day. I think this is going to be like a 17-15 game. And I'm going to go with the Colts on that.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a super close game. Super close.
See, I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be close in the 20s, though. I think it's going to be 23-20 Ravens. I just think Lamar is going to find a way to wiggle out and break a long game that changes flips the field and changes things for the Ravens. He's just that type. He's that good. He's that electrifying. Now we did talk, Luke and Marco. Me and Luke were talking about this before, that the Ravens seem to be getting exposed. Maybe not they're exposed, but they seem to be getting figured out with that offense.
Yes, absolutely. Baltimore is just not. It's not the same team we're talking about last season. Obviously, a whole new year, but Baltimore has just been exposed on so many levels, and you got to question what it is. What exactly is going on with that Baltimore offense. I feel like Lamar, they figured him out. Teams are forcing him to make moves that he does. He doesn't like doing.
They're forcing him to be a pocket passer.
Yeah, but we've seen it before. Just think back to the days when Mike Vick came out. He was just doing whatever he wanted to do. But 3-4 years, in, people were starting to figure out Mike Vick.
Right. Who's the biggest guy, the main guy that shut Michael Vick down? I'll beat my chest for this. Brian Urlacher.
Yeah.
Brian Urlacher was the spy on Michael Vick, and he shut Michael Vick down time and time again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean it's like I said, it's shock and awe. You know what I mean? The league had you go a little while, you haven't really seen a quarterback that's that explosive, and then all of a sudden one comes in and you're like, boom, oh, this dude's a hell of a lot faster than we thought, And then you start seeing and things, and they get all the tape on you and all that stuff, and then it's easy to start quieting him down.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar. I feel like Lamar just doesn't have enough help. Mark Andrews is great. I love Mark Andrews. And I feel like Baltimore also, if their run game doesn't take off, they're in trouble.
Yeah.
Do we get a score from you, Marco?
Do we
get a score?
For which one?
For the Ravens, Baltimore versus Baltimore Colts. Nice job.
No pun intended.
Yeah, right.
Baltimore, I am going to pick Baltimore 24-21. I think it's going to be a close contest.
Yeah, I think it's going to be close.
Phillip Rivers, there's no doubt that Indianapolis brought him in for this very reason. Mm-hmm. They had their doubts about, Jacoby Brissett.
Right.
Bring in Phillip Rivers, and look what he's done. He's doing the exact job that they expected him to. Lamar, at the end of the day, he's definitely going to, be the face of the Ravens, and he's going to deliver. It's going to be a low-scoring affair. Going back to the Indianapolis defense that you pointed out, too, they keep teams on check. There's no denying that's why they're getting these victories. But ultimately, I think at the end of the day, Lamar's speed is going to play a little factor in a close one. So I'm going Indianapolis. Baltimore.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Just talk yourself into
You know what? I do like the Colts. Oh, man. All right. It looks like we're all trending towards Baltimore. Let's do our last game. Or yeah, let's do our last game. No.
Don't we have Vikings Detroit?
Yeah, we do have Vikings in Detroit. This one's going to be a coin toss. I wanted to go – my next one's going to be my favorite one. But the Vikings and the Lions, I'm going to have to go with the Lions. As well as the Vikings did last week, I just think that the Lions might be able to sneak one out. I know Stafford's out, but who knows?
They're bringing Orlovsky back from the booth.
No, they got Chubby Chase, dude. They got Chubby Chase.
I know, I'm just kidding. But,
Chubby Chase Daniel.
Oh man, yeah. No, with that game, man, I don't know, man. I feel like Dalvin Cook coming off one of the most epic games.
He's
ever.
tired. He's tired, dude.
I don't think he's tired. If anybody's tired, it's Matt Patricia and the Detroit Lions. I'm tired of losing. But man, you're right. It is a toss-up. But I think that the Vikings are going to squeak this out 24-17, just because they're going to miss Stafford bad.
Man, I'm gonna go 16-10. I'm gonna go 16-10 Lions.
That's legit.
I'm gonna go Vikings 24-10 against the Lions. I just that big Dalvin Cook game. It was monster. It was a monster game for him, and I think he's just gonna feed off of that and just keep going, just keep playing.
What I'm wondering? I'm wondering is with the games that we keep seeing about Dalvin Cook, and it's starting to make me think is he just that good, or does the Minnesota Vikings have an offensive line that is just slept on?
Yes and no.
I mean, I don't.
Yes and no. Maybe
it just makes me think.
Their line hasn't been very they haven't been terrible. It's just they're getting old and they weren't hitting. And you're trusting your entirety of the team to a Kirk Cousins, who's a wishy-washy at best.
Yeah,
$80 million that should have been $40 million.
$80 million maybe.
Yeah. $80 million maybe should have been $40 million at least, maybe less than that. But if you're running the ball and they're going downhill and they got some momentum, we saw the Packers. The thing is, you talked about the Packers having a shitty run defense. I mean, it could very well be just a product of the matchup.
Yeah, it could. But I don't know. I mean, like, it just Dalvin Cook. I mean, we all know he's good, and I hate to say that because he's a Florida State alum, but the guy is great. The guy is great, man. And I'm just starting to think that that's the only thing good on Minnesota's offense I'm going to talk about. Like,
right.
Thielen is, everybody knows. Stop Thielen, you stop Cousins, it's over.
All right.
And maybe the rookie.
You know what's over? Us talking about this damn game. Let's move on. We got 3 more games. 3 more and the Monday nighter. Actually, we'll save the Monday. It's fine. We'll save the Monday. All right, we got Washington versus the New York Football Giants. The New York Giants, and I feel like Washington's going to win this game. I feel like Washington, for some reason, is a dark horse. And as shitty as the division is, I feel like Washington is the dark horse.
They are. I mean, honestly, like I've seen a really good, Washington football team, out there. I think they really are sleepers in this division. I think they are going to creep up. They have the team to do it.
The defense. They have the defense.
Yeah, they have the defense to do it. Don't count them out.
Riverboat run, man.
I'm still very suspicious on Philadelphia. Let's just say, I mean, it's hard making a really faithful pick in that division because it's so bad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of bad football is just being played in that division right now. So, I mean, but ultimately, at the end of the day, Washington they do have something to show. That defense is phenomenal. But the black horse, I think, of the division.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Continue.
All
right. Well, I'm going to tell you this. The Giants. This is the Giants. So the Giants are all over the board. And I think the Giants pointed something out, and I'm going to talk trash about my own team right now, but I think the Giants really set a standard across the NFL because I think it actually was spoken in the pregame.
Right.
Or actually in the locker room before the game. Don't try to stop Tom Brady.
Mm-mm.
Try to stop everybody else.
Yep.
And we saw what happened. Scotty Miller
shut down.
Didn't get nothing. Mike Evans only 55 yards. Gronk got the touchdown, but for the whole first half, you didn't hear his name unless he was blocking. So I mean the Giants, and we've talked about it numerous times on the show. The Giants' defense really isn't that bad. Look, but let me finish. So when the Giants play teams that don't have superstars, then I feel like that's where the Giants start overthinking and dropping because there's like, all right, so we don't have one guy we can zone in on. Now what do we do?
Right.
But I guess McLaurin would be the guy if you're going to do it. If you're the Giants, shut him down and then make everybody else beat you. But in that game, I'm going to go with the Giants in this game, and I'm going to do 23-16, and I'm going to say that Evan Ingram finally shows up.
I mean, I can see that. Marco, go ahead.
I'm going to say Washington's going to take this one 27-14. I think Jones is going to throw 2 touchdowns today, put the Giants on the board, but I think Washington's going to pull it off.
I think Washington's going to pull it off too. Let me just tell you about the New York Giants because, and this is not me dismissing the Giants. It's just me thinking that Washington might have the edge. The Giants,
they're another big physical team.
The Giants got the win by 1 point last time around. But the thing is about the Giants, check out these losses. Let me just read off. Let me go in descending order.
Mm-hmm.
The Buccaneers, last week's loss, 2 points, 25-23. The week before that, Philadelphia Eagles, you lose 22-21. So in 2 games, you lost by 3 points. Then you beat Washington the game before that. The game before that, you lose to the Dallas Cowboys 37-34. So 6 points. So that's 3 losses by a total of 6 points.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go to the Rams, you lose 17-9. See, my point here is the Giants are in every fucking game.
They're in it.
It's a rebuilding team.
Mm-hmm.
It's a new coaching staff.
Minus a star running back.
Saquon Barkley might even be the tipping point to win to the Giants winning games.
I guarantee you that's 3 more W's.
At least 3 more W's. So, for me, it's not me knocking the New York Giants. I just think that, the Giants got one.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's going to be the Washington football team.
It's a split, yeah.
Right. So so you got.
I'm taking the Giants.
The Giants. You got the Washington. I'm going to go with Washington as well. Let's wrap things up with our last game of the night that we're going to be bringing to you, and that is your game, brother. Saints against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady versus Drew Brees. Round 2 of the season. This one, I don't want to say it's for all the marbles, but this one is huge as far as the stranglehold in the division.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. I'll let you guys talk first.
I think this game is definitely going to be a statement game for both teams. That the first dance around, we saw not a very competitive matchup. We saw a lot of very low Tampa Bay team, but now it seems that they're meeting the expectation of what exactly they were going to put on the field.
Right.
But it's going to be a competitive game. Honestly, I can't tell you who. I mean, the Saints coming off of a win. It's going to be a tight one, I think, today. As far as a score, I'm going to think Tom Brady's going to pull it off today. It's going to be low scoring affair, but high scoring at the same time.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay 30, Saints 27.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I think it's going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers prevailing in this game. I think the Saints showed last week that they struggle against a good defense. The Bears could have won that game last week, and I think they could have won that game by a touchdown or 10 points.
One or two more plays
in there, and it's a huge difference. I think the Bucs are just. I think they flipped the switch. I think that Tom is on board with everybody. The MO is out though. How to beat him? Just beat everybody. Stop everybody else. Let Tom do it. Tom's gonna get what Tom gets.
Yeah.
But don't let anybody beat you over the top. Don't let anybody change the game on you.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I'm gonna go with the Bucs, and I'm gonna go with the Bucs 32-20.
I'm gonna go with the Bucs too, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Shocker.
No, I've picked the game.
I know.
But I'm gonna go with the Bucs too, and I'm gonna tell you exactly why. That don't try to stop Tom thing is gonna blow up in your face if that's the way you go today.
Mm-hmm.
We got the Energizer Bunny out there today. Oh, pink ears, Antonio Brown, been living with Tom Brady, doing nothing but eating dinner and reading playbooks, and hopefully pray to God. Do not put Chris Godwin back out there after surgery and make him not available later in the year, by re-injuring a surgically repaired finger.
Tom's got Michael Jackson's Man in the Mirror playing.
But I'm gonna tell you what, AB is gonna create another ripple in everybody's game plan because you still got Scotty Miller. You could switch them. You could make Scotty Miller your underneath guy, put AB as your slot guy, or your outside. So, I mean, you can't double team AB and Mike Evans or else Scotty Miller and Gronkowski are going to feast in the middle of the field. The Saints, they're in a bad position because they didn't play Antonio Brown the first round.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got it. What are you going to do?
Who's going to stop him?
And is he out there just to be a decoy?
Is he in the slot or is he your number two? You got Godwin. You got Godwin and Evans. Where's Antonio Brown going to be? He's going to be everywhere.
Well, Godwin's questionable. So I mean,
oh yeah, that's true.
He's questionable. So I mean, I'm hoping we see how many times he's already been out up to this point in the season. Let's let the guy rest. Let him heal. You got AB. You still got Gronk. You still got Rojo. You still got Fournette. Let's use what we got. Let's not try to blow our load right now. You know what I mean? Let's just ease back. Use what you got and save him because okay, so what? Let's say you do lose to the Saints. It doesn't matter. Then everybody gets healthy and then you're clicking on all cylinders. You're going to make up games because we saw, like you said, the Saints should have lost to the Bears. They should have lost, and the Saints have had a couple games this year where they probably should have lost and just barely squeaked it out. So that's I feel like the Bucs defense is the deciding factor in that division. So even if the Saints do win today, I feel like the Bucs are still okay because you're getting back Christian McCaffrey in Carolina. Mm-hmm. They still got to play New Orleans. Mm-hmm. What are you going to do now? So I don't know, but I'm going to go with the Bucs today over the Saints, 27-20.
Okay, I see that. I can see that. 27-20. I couldn't agree with you more. It's just you think about New Orleans and you think about how well Sean Payton adjusts. Sean Payton made so many adjustments in game on the fly against the Bears, and that ultimately won them the game. It ultimately won them the game.
Yeah.
And it's going to be interesting to see how Sean reacts to Bruce and how Bruce reacts to Sean, and throughout the entirety of the game, because we're talking about two Hall of Fame quarterbacks with two coaches who are they're pretty much established offensive gurus in this game.
Yeah, that's the battle. It's like, okay, the coaches do whatever, but then you have two quarterbacks that can change whatever the coach says.
Right.
So it's like coach versus coach, but quarterback versus quarterback. So it's almost like four coaches. You know what I mean? It's like two coaches on this side, two coaches. Because both of those quarterbacks are very they don't even need offensive coordinators, either of them. They can pull up to the line and be like, listen, screw that, we're going with this. They can both call the play at the line. So it's gonna be a mental game.
No doubt. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here and actually watch the games now. This has been the Basement Monsters podcast on SportsZone Chicago. I am Ivan Vargas. That's Luke Nettles and special guest Marco Velasquez. To my right, we're gonna get to you guys at the half of the Bears and the Colts.
Go Ferkser.
Go Ferkser. Ferks are you. All right, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and get to you guys at the half of the Bears and the Colts and bring you guys the live updates from around the league. We're gonna go ahead and get out of here, guys. This has been the Basement Monsters podcast on SportsZone Chicago.
Captain Insano shows no mercy.
Straight cash, homie.
Hold on to your butts.
I just heard my favorite band is in town. I'd love to get good seats, but everywhere I've looked, the ticket sites have crazy service fees.
Haven't you heard of TixSplits?
Who?
TixSplits. They don't gouge you with crazy fees. The price they advertise is the price you pay, plus a small delivery fee.
Never pay service fees again. Go to TixSplits.com today. TixSplits.com. Guaranteed seats, low prices. That's TixSplits.com. Every ticket, every venue, everywhere.